again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in on this special commemorative discussion to mark the 129th birth anniversary of Dr. Dr. Ambedkar's view, his contribution to the making of the Constitution is well known. It is little known that he was also an extremely highly regarded economist, and institutions in India like the Reserve Bank, like the Planning Commission, the Finance Commission and all owe its origin to many of his ideas and his writings. Ambedkar was an unabashed modernist and a liberal who firmly believed that the injustices of the past, the inequalities of the past, and the prejudice and discrimination of the past should be swept away, and a new India should be built on the basis of equality. Dr. Ambedkar was a very trenchant critic of some of the evils in Hinduism, and he himself went on to become a Buddhist and to encourage a large number of his followers to take up Buddhism as an alternative to Hinduism. Like today, when we are fighting a pandemic, when all countries of the world are united in fighting this pandemic, what we learn from Dr. Ambedkar is his determination, is his perseverance, is his fight for his principles of equality and justice, and his rise from humble beginnings to one of the most important figures in the building of modern India.
That Ambedkar's political legacy is still very prevalent today. In the last 2-3 decades, his life and legacy is actually interesting also to understand contemporary Dalit politics, and both its potentials and its constraints. So Ambedkar provided political agency to Dalits through the constitutional features, which it developed and expanded over time.
And it is very important to see what Dr. Ambedkar has done, not only for India, but his idea, people who are oppressed, and emancipation of the women, and looking for example also in our own country here in the Netherlands, that we can use his ideas during the whole year to spread his message.
He was, I think, one human being who actually suffered and was able to rise out of this situation he was in, being born and untouchable and whatever society had to offer in terms of persecution or suppression. And that is something that we all feel today in various different ways.
To create a social revolution or a social transformation, you need legislation, and Dr. Ambedkar made major contributions in creating that legislation and ensuring that the Indian Constitution reflected appropriately provisions for social justice. But legislation alone is not enough. You need action, you need political action. And he, during his lifetime, did his best to empower the Dalits, but there are many sections of society who continue to be discriminated, who continue to be oppressed. And ultimately, it is through political action in follow-up with or in conjunction with the legislation that we can truly make change possible initially. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.